Hello, everyone. My name is Jacob Smith. I am an undergraduate student at Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville, and I have been studying in Dr. Kevin Tucker's laboratory for a couple years now. Here we look at a few different contaminants of emerging concern. These include pharmaceuticals and personal care products, as well as pesticides and especially herbicides. Um, Today I will be discussing those, looking at the quantification of pesticides in a lake in central Illinois, specifically in this initial analysis looking at glyphosate, AMPA, which glyphosate will degrade into, and glufosinate. So for methodology, like I said, we have our lake in central Illinois. We take samples from 5 separate points on the lake, ranging from the south, which is labeled Site 1, up to the northern reaches of the lake, labeled Site 27. We followed a modified methodology for this pesticide quantification, primarily based on centrifugation and ultrafiltering. You can look into that more with the cited source at the bottom. And then that led to LCMS mass analysis with triple quadruple mass spectrometry. Looking at results now, first of note was that the glufosinate was not quantified, so there seems to not be a level of concern for that particular pesticide here. Next of note is that glyphosate was the most prevalent in the south, looking at site 1, compared to the rest of the sites as it rages upward in more and more north. And counter to that, AMPA increases as it goes north, so the concentration seemed to be inversely proportional, which makes sense as glyphosate will degrade into AMPA. So if the source of this glyphosate is near the south side of the lake, there's a field or something, somewhere it's being applied there, and it bleeds into the lake there, the more time it takes to reach the northern points of the lake, the more time will pass, the more will degrade into AMPA. Also of interest is that the glyphosate levels on average in the lake as a whole were seen to be above the chronic danger standard posted by Illinois.gov EPA. So that means that it's at a point where after an extended period of time, it could pose a concern to wildlife. And this also does eventually lead into a drinking water system for the community. So that is another concern here as well. So for both these reasons, we have additional future research we're looking into. One is just continuing this pesticide tracking of glyphosate to see if these levels are consistent. And then from there, if something can be done to help combat it, if so, whether that's some form of chemical involvement or if it's just locating where this source is and having a conversation with the field or whoever owns that property there. Beyond that, we want to spread out this analysis to more pesticides so we can see if there's anything else being used to concerning amounts in the area or see if glyphosate is the primary concern. And also we have somewhat of a sister lab working with us on this project. They are looking into phosphorus levels of the watershed because they are especially concerned with algae blooms, which have been found to be a concern at this site in the past already. And then also our group looks at pharmaceuticals or PPCPs in a creek from central to southern Illinois just to track other forms of emerging contaminants in our water systems. So thank you for your time